Hi, my name is Mohit Reddy and welcome to the Road to the Launch AMA of A51 Finance. In this AMA and protocol update, we'll be talking about a number of things, starting from the general narrative of ALP and how is it different from ALM. We will also be talking about the liquidity controls and user experience that we'll be providing to the liquidity providers of Uniswap, the retail LPs that are generally looking to invest their money and have some control over the market movements. We will also be talking about the recap of quarter four of 2023, what we have been building in the silence, and what we will be rolling out more in the late December. We will also be talking about the much awaited A51 token, the tokenomics around it, the upcoming proposals, and the incentives related to the token and liquidity mining. Then we will also be going through the design overview of the dApp that we have been building up to this stage, and we will see how is it pretty different from the other concentrated liquidity management tools and how it caters to the number of different users. Then we also have some updates regarding the testnet competitions that we will be soon launching in the late December for the people to start testing the product and get the feel around it and provide us feedback around it. Then, last but not least, we will be talking about the upcoming development efforts. So, without a further ado, let's dive deep into it. So, let's talk about the narrative of ALP and specifically how is it different from an ALM. So, in a general, like the simplest definition is that an ALP is a remote control that simplifies and automates the liquidity provision experience. So, how is it any different from an ALM? In ALM, you have to provide liquidity into the pre-built strategies, which are built for all of the users coming to that pair. Now, the problem with that is that the general LP doesn't have enough control and customizations in their hands, and it doesn't cater to the preferences of market movements. So an LP is bound to either wait for the strategies to kick in, or they have to pull their investment out before the impermanent loss goes worse for their capital. So what is different with ALP is that it is literally a remote control for a retail LP in their hands. So at one point it is at one hand it is providing the automation of moving the liquidity along through the market modes, which are defined by the user, as well as a user can create their custom strategies and customize their liquidity movements around it. So what does that mean? It means that a strategy creator or an LP can define the market movements, and they can choose like four types of movements in their liquidity strategies. So as you can see, to summarize is that you can either tell the protocol to make a static strategy for the liquidity such that it will not, the position remains fixed and does not trail the changing prices of the underlying assets. So if you are providing liquidity in a pair which is either stable or it is tightly pegged to each other, for example, like a pair which is ETH and WBTC, which moves in tandem with each other, so the static mode would be the best way to go with it. Now, even if you have selected the static mode, you can still, through ALP, you can choose at what point you would like to withdraw your liquidity automatically. Now, if you would like to provide liquidity into the volatile and stable assets, or for example, the assets which are moving in tandem with each other, you will likely choose the sideways mode. So, for example, if you're providing liquidity in ETH USDC, you would like to tell the protocol in what direction you would like to move. So, consider that in a pair like ETH USDC, the movement will be one-sided with respect to the Ether. So, for example, like right now, the market is going up. You would like to gain the momentum and let your liquidity earn fees so that your liquidity shall move in the direction in which it is going. So you can choose the bull mode such that whenever the price goes out of range, the liquidity goes out of range, your liquidity will be moved at a certain deviation price. It also means that the automation will not randomly kick in as soon as the liquidity goes out of range. You can define a cooldown period in the sense of price deviation. So, for example, if you have the appetite of moving the liquidity after the 20% deviation in the price, you can tell the protocol exactly that, and it will automate that decision for you. And then apart from the basic strategy modes, we also have some pro modes in our arsenal. So, for example, we have the rebasing mechanism, exit strategy, and liquidity distribution. So, what does that mean? So, ALP Pro modes offer advanced features for liquidity providers who want to have greater control and customizations. These modes provide sophisticated strategies and risk management tools, empowering experienced users to fine tune their liquidity provision. So, now if you are an experienced user who would like to have a much more control and variables in your hands, you can choose the Pro modes while creating the strategy. And if you are someone who want to build strategies for the people, you can also build a custom liquidity sequence and make it public and even earn from them. So you will be earning from the profits that those LPs will be getting by investing in your strategy. So the protocol is for two types of users. One is strategy creator, the other one is an LP. So a strategy creator can create their own mini markets by combining essential strategy modes with this. So in these pro modes, the three concepts are the liquidity phases. So you provide liquidity, that's the first phase. Then the second is rebasing mechanism. The third one is exit strategy, and the fourth one is liquidity distribution. Rebasing mechanisms basically tells the shape in which the form in which the liquidity should be rebalanced according to the markets, according to some price with respect to some time, let's say. Exit strategy basically means that what should happen after the liquidity provider would like to pull their assets from the AMM. So there are countless choices. Either they would like to convert the assets into the other form. Either they want to pull their liquidity at a certain price automatically, or just maybe they would like to provide the assets into some sort of protocols like LSD protocols to earn further yield. So, and the third one is liquidity distribution. The concept is to provide a much more greater control for the LPs to shape their liquidity in some sort of shapes. For example, on AMMs, like for example, you would like to create some orders on top of the chain, on top of the liquidity market making platform. And what this platform will do is that it will create partial orders of your capital, such that you will be earning profits with a greater efficiency. All right, now that we are done with the narrative and the concepts of ALP, let's go through the recap of the quarter four. We have been working a lot on different ideas from all sorts of fronts, specifically from the development, from the rebranding aspect, as well as some partnerships, which are pretty cool. We have also onboarded Atis, who is pretty proficient in creating the strategies and testing the numbers and testing the quality of the strategies. Artis is a renowned professor, and he has been working in the space of liquidity provision and analysis of concentrated liquidity strategies. Then let's also talk about the hookup event of Uniswap V4 and protocol design. So the ALP, as I have already defined in the concepts of what is ALP, ALP is supposed to bring another layer between the management and the concentrated dexes. So it will work as a tooling layer through which a strategy creator, a retail LP, or even institutions can control their assets on the dexes with a much more unique indigenous way. It is supposed to make the user experience of the liquidity providers and strategy creators much more convenient and as much more control. So that is like the whole concept and narrative. It's supposed to be building a remote control for the liquidity providers and strategy builders. It's supposed to bring more customizations and in-depth knowledge for the people who have been using the platforms, but they are not getting enough of it, or they have been booking losses due to the inherent nature of IL. As we know that liquidity layer has been by value, it has been a big chunk of the market of DeFi, and a lot of the protocols run on top of the liquidity layer. So to make it much more feasible is to it's the most important aspect to run efficient DeFi systems. So that is the general motivation behind this automated liquidity platform. Then in quarter four, we rebranded from Unipilot to A51. The need for it was to look forward towards a bigger ambition, look forward to break free from the narrative of a concentrated liquidity manager and build a layer that is much more wider and customizable for the people. So we wanted to go with a fresh perspective. We wanted to go with a fresh narrative. So that is one of the main reason we rebranded, and the rebrand has been successful both from the community response and from the narrative building aspect. We'll be doing a lot of stuff from the branding side, and you guys are surely going to love it. Then the big thing that we have done in the quarter four is that, as you guys might know, that we'll be launching the protocol on Polygon and natively on Quickswap DEX. And we have had from the previous experience with Unipilot with V2, we had a strong partnership with Quickswap. We integrated with Quickswap on their own dApp natively. So it is a pretty cool opportunity to partner with them to launch natively on their DEX. And then with respect to the token launch, we have partnered with APE Bonds, who have recently launched their bond service on top of Quickswap. And what they do is that they strengthen the liquidity market making of the newly launched tokens on the DEXs. So the people will be getting a lot more stability when they will be buying the token and holding it, or just utilizing it into the protocol tokenomics. We onboarded a strategy researcher who has started working with us on the liquidity sequences and providing educational content for the users, who will be able to judge and who will be able to decide what are the best ways to utilize this tool. We had an interesting event in Turkey, Istanbul, around the Uniswap V4 hook. So we have been pretty much on front on that aspect as well, and we have been waiting for the Uniswap V4 to launch. So we hosted an event in which all of the enthusiasts around the Uniswap V4 gathered, and we discussed a lot of innovative ideas. Then regarding the protocol design and development, we have been working hard on from the aspect of content development as well as from the application development. Later in this AMA, we'll be going through the designs as well.